Hello, preparedness people. Hello, my friends. How are you doing tonight? I have seen a bunch of people already up in the chat, and I am so blessed to have you here with me tonight. I'm just going to start doing some shout outs while we wait for YouTube to catch up here. I see Uncle Al is in the house. Hi, Uncle Al. And Robin is here. Ginny Pennington is here. Sven, glad to see you in the chat tonight from Norway. How's the weather in Norway tonight? I always think of my son when I see you in anywhere because he's over there in Eastern Europe by where you are. Michael O'Brien, good evening from Central Florida. Hello, neighbor. Rita Hunter, hello, Rita. Vince Over Acres, Pink Southern Girl up in the house. USMC 935, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Yarn Prepper won't be here tonight because her daughter is home. So I hope you enjoy your time with your daughter, Yarn, and I'll see you on the next one. Carmen Del Rio, hello. Hi, Tony. Thank you for the nice message on Instagram. I really appreciate you reaching out. Lynn Stalker, hi, Lynn. And let's see. Carrie Newsom, I'm glad you're here. Hi, Andrea. Hi, Banks Homestead. Glad you're here. And Sven says that it is rainy and windy in Norway tonight. So if y'all want to let me know where you are coming to me from and what the weather's like over there. Mr. B and I just planted some pumpkins out in the garden. It was a beautiful day today. Started out about 65 degrees and then we ended up around 90, like right at 88, 90 today. Very little humidity and actually very beautiful. Very beautiful. All right, so Uncle Al's just listening tonight, and I don't think I have any other mods in the house, so y'all need to behave tonight. And I sure do appreciate that. I did get some news from my son. He's going to deploy to another country, a very small country who needs some help with their tank training. So my son and his platoon is going to go and join that country. I won't say the name of the country because I don't want to compromise their mission, but they are going to go in that country for 2 weeks and they are going to train with them. His address, his APO address will not be changing, but I won't be sending any packages for about the next week and a half, maybe. They did receive all of their Halloween party and fall harvest party treats and goodies from all of you, and they're so excited and just waiting to set everything up. They've already got their decorations up, and I'll have to see if I can't get a picture of all of that, but they're going to be having themselves a hootenanny, and they thank everyone so much for the super chats because I do use 100% of that funds, and I also use all the money from my YouTube commercials to send money to the troops. Okay, it looks like we've got Carmen coming in from Lakeland, Florida. Hello, I've been to Lakeland before. Susan is coming in feeling defeated in Alabama. Oh no. I'm taking it that the Alabama team must have lost today. I don't follow sports, so Paula is coming to us from Kentucky. What a beautiful state. I love Kentucky. Rita's coming in from South Carolina, 41 this morning and 71 this afternoon. How beautiful. Nicole, oh, they've got a frost warning tonight. I bet you took in all your garden if you have one. My goodness, when we get a frost here in Florida, it is serious business. Everybody gets all crazy when there's a frost. Andrea coming in from Minnesota. It was 60 today and 30s tonight. Thank you, Susan, for the prayers for my son and his platoon. Don't forget about the rest of those boys because they've got my son's back. And so every time I send packages or anything, it's for the whole platoon. Ben's Over Acres coming in from Northwest Iowa. My goodness, it must be so cold there. Let's see. Oh, Fake Person is in the house. How are you? And Nene coming in from Michigan. I always, whenever somebody from Michigan, I say, tell me where you are on the mitten. Tell me. Let's see. Oh, Tennessee won. I'm sorry, Susan. I don't know anything about sports. Oh, Florida base. Thank you so much. And 1776, one of my favorite numbers. That's awesome. And let's see. Oh, Nene says that it is 41 now and 30s overnight. Holy smokes, y'all! That is some freezing temperatures. All right. Big person, I really appreciate your super chat. Those are never expected. However, they do go 100% to the troops. How did the group like the tomato soup? They really loved it. They thought that it was I told them it was a fall spice cake, and not one of them would have ever believed in a million years that it was a tomato soup cake. They all thought it was either carrot or pumpkin. So thank you. That was a great question. Let's see. Cold War Prepper. Hi, Lee. How are you tonight? Did you hear about Nathan and that he is headed to another country to help them set up their army and the tanks and all that? So he'll be traveling on for a couple of weeks. So he'll be leaving the country where he is. And actually, I'm breathing a loud sigh of relief when I found out that he was not going to be where he's at for 2 weeks, because where he's at is not really a good place. So, okay. Oh yeah, your son is out of the Air Force. Yeah. I think Nathan will stay. I think Nathan will stay in for the whole time. Who lives in the forest? Lou Fran, hi, how are you? You literally are my neighbor. Girl, we gotta hook up. You gotta meet me at the feed store. We'll chat. Yeah, it is fantastic news that Nathan is gonna be in another country for a couple of weeks, and I'm hoping maybe that he gets to say, he sent me a really cool picture of him trading patches with a member of the army of where he is, and it was a sign of goodwill, and they're actually like buddies. So I thought that was pretty cool. And he managed to score himself a date when he went to the hospital for his spider bite. The nurse that patched him up went out on a date with him. So that's my boy. All right. My goodness. There's so many great channels in the chat. Northern Karma's here and Carrie Newsom's here. Y'all are saying hi to each other, and I am really happy that everyone is behaving tonight, which I never have a problem with my crowd. Okay, so tonight we're going to talk about Uncle Joe. Y'all know Uncle Joe, don't you? We're not going to say his last name, but Uncle Joe and his long, cold winter, the cold, dark winter. I have some notes here that I wrote on the back of my birthday card envelope. And we're going to talk about Uncle Joe and the cold, dark winter and how we're going to get ready for the cold, dark winter, because the price of energy has gone through the roof. And I do not understand how people on a budget, people on a fixed income, people anywhere are going to be able to make it the rest of the winter. It's going to be a very, very hard winter. Hey, it's Verbena Flower. Glad you made it too. And I see Sally, who's your prepping nurse. If you haven't checked out her channel, go do it. Not right now, but later. Kagi, hi. Oh, I'm so sorry that your brother passed away. That's sad news. I'm so sorry. Michelle Flo, thank you for reminding people to hit the like button, and Uncle Al's doing that as well. So we're going to talk about the cold winter and some things that we're going to need for getting ready for that. Number one, we're going to need a plan. And so I have that up here, a plan. And not only are we going to need a plan, we're going to need a backup plan. So we have a plan for how we're going to save energy, we're going to save money, we're going to save our food, we're going to save everything this winter. And we're going to have a plan, a backup plan for that plan. So yes, we're going to be using the space heater and the electric blanket to stay warm. But if there's no electricity, I've got plan B and plan C. We're invest in a carbon monoxide detector, and I'm not kidding. Investing in a carbon monoxide detector can save your life and the life of your family. My brother and his family had their lives saved by a carbon monoxide detector because something happened with their furnace and something happened. I don't really know what happened. But anyway, the carbon monoxide detector went off and they all managed to get out of the house safely, which was very good. Fire extinguishers, because if we're using space heaters and things like that, it's very important that you have a fire extinguisher just in case. It can be the difference between a spot fire in one part of your house or your entire house burning down and you losing everything. Plastic sheeting and tarps in case we need to block off one room to stay warm in just one room, or plastic sheeting and tarps, especially for our windows. Duct tape, very handy. A prepper's best friend, duct tape. Sleeping bags and warm blankets. When I was a little girl in Maine, and it was the 70s, it was the oil crisis, we had a wood stove, and my brother and I slept in the same bed. We had sleeping bags, we had a Mylar blanket, we had hats on. He was in the same bed as me. We slept right next to the right next to the chimney upstairs. It was the warmest room in the house. And then the sleeping bags went inside of our sheets, our bed. So that was definitely, like, it was 60 degrees below zero, and it was the oil crisis, and my parents didn't have any money for oil, certainly not. Let's see. So the foil blankets, that's on my list. A thermos. There's nothing like a hot drink to warm you up in the wintertime or when you're cold. So having a thermos on hand can save energy from warming up your liquid over and over again. A small tent. I know as a child, I would have thought that it was so exciting to sleep in a tent inside the house. And I don't think I would have realized that it would be like a crisis type moment. But a small tent to stay warm in the wintertime is a really good idea if your power goes out or if your heat goes out. Space heaters and accessories, you're going to need those more than likely, because rather than heating up the whole house, you may be able to heat just a small area. Flashlights and those click lights or task lighting, something very small that can help light your way if there was no power. Candles and tea light candles. You guys know that I'm not a huge fan of candles because of the fire risk, especially with little kids. So, use at your own risk. Lanterns, always very important. A camp stove. If you had hot food, you're gonna have a way better experience if there's no power and it's very cold out. Food on hand. Just food that's easily warm upable. I guess if that's a word. Is that even a word? Warm upable. Food that's easy to heat up. So you're ready to go, stuff like Dinty Moore can be for ravioli or something like that would be really easy to get hot fast. An emergency radio. You're going to need definitely an emergency radio should we lose communication, should we lose internet, should we lose all of those things. Those shortwave radios and emergency radios can really help keep you updated on what's happening. Solar chargers and just chargers in general. Not being able to charge your cell phone, I know during a hurricane, is just the worst. So you're going to want to make sure that you're able to charge your devices. I have a generator on here, but literally if you are in an apartment or something like that, having a generator is not going to be something that is practical. The electric blanket, heating pad, hot water bottle, and hand warmers. Those are amazing. A lot of times we use an electric blanket. We have a throw that goes on our couch that's an electric throw, because turning the heat on in Florida isn't always necessary if you can just warm yourself. Heating pad, I love a heating pad. Hot water bottle, you can use that if there's no power. And those hand warmers like hunters use, my husband and I used to work outdoor events for a long time, and we always used to have those little hand warmers with us. Extension cords, really super important to have those if you need to be in another room or even if you need to run stuff outside. Faucet covers and pipe insulation. I did my video on the top things that were cheap at Lowe's that you would want to hoard, and pipe insulation was one of them, because if you aren't able to keep your house at a decent temperature, then pipe insulation is going to be really important and save you a lot of money and trouble, because you don't want busted pipes. That's the worst. Warm clothes, mittens, hats, and layers. So your long underwear, your thermals, your turtlenecks, your sweaters, and then just even like in the wintertime, I wear a hat in the house because we don't like to We don't like to turn our heat on. It's expensive. Instant coffee or beverages like hot cocoa, things that are easily, you can just make your thermos full of hot water and you could have 4 or 5 different drinks throughout the day with your instant beverages. You're going to need some books. Why not? Because who doesn't like to curl up with a good book? Especially if there's no heat and no power, it would be a good activity just to curl up with a nice book and a warm beverage and just chill for a little bit. And make sure that you have your first aid supplies. First aid supplies. So my son, I'm going to do a video next week about, my son called me while I was at the fall festival at the pumpkin patch and said that he had cut his finger very badly and that he needed his mama. And so when I got home, he definitely needed stitches. But it is 45 minutes to an hour to the nearest hospital from us. And the hospitals they're okay, but I don't really think that he would have gotten the attention that he needed. So we just took care of it at the house, butterfly stitches, and we'll go through all of that in the video. But if it was a hideous storm outside and there was no power and no ability to, get to a hospital, definitely 100%, you would want to be able to take care of those things at home. I'm going to go to the chat. I saw Michael Wilcox. Hello, Mr. Wilcox. How are you, my dear? It's good to see you in the chat tonight. Oh my gosh, here he is. Battery post to cart, 12-volt outlet adapter, super cheap. Anything with a battery becomes a place to charge. I can drop a link if you like. Why don't you drop a link, Michael? That sounds great. Okay, I'm going to go back through the chat because I see you all have been dropping some amazing comments. There's Mr. B. Oh, and Tater wants his 5 minutes in the spotlight. Okay. Let's see.
The tie.
He has his bow tie on because it's a special occasion. So Tater got fixed a couple of weeks ago, so that's why he hasn't been in the chat very much. But his cone is off now, and he is happy. Okay. Let's see. Thanks, hun. Life is too short to be poorly lit, people. I'll tell you that right now. Much better.
Oops.
Oh my gosh. Nene says they're expecting snow flurries already. That's crazy. The Banks homestead is camping in Alabama. My goodness. Okay. Ben's over acres, 60 miles. Oh, whoops. Okay. That was for Andrea. If you have a comment for me, could you put it all in caps, please? And then we're going to do win of the week here in a couple of minutes. I'm so excited. Okay, Susan Peterson bought a big buddy this week. That is awesome. I know Mr. B at his work, they heat their shop with those. Even though I'm in Florida, I've been trying to get a good cast iron wood burning stove. Hard to find a nice one. You better believe it. Mr. B made a mini wood stove. So it's so cute. And we have it out in our little cabin area. Yeah, that's really smart. You need a carbon monoxide detector and a fire extinguisher. It literally could be the difference between life and death for your family. And I highly recommend both products in pretty much every video I do. My brother bought me a fire blanket to smother a fire or put another person around a person to escape fire. That's an awesome gift. That's great. Okay, Crypto Val says, I picked up a fire extinguisher a couple days ago for the new wood stove. Can't wait until it is completely installed. So I will tell you that one time while I was getting ready for school, my mother was loading the wood stove as a young girl, and a coal popped out of the stove, hit the carpet, and lit on fire. And my mom took off her bathrobe and stamped out the fire with her slippers, which burnt her slippers, her bathrobe, and made a huge spot in the carpet. And so that was when we lived in Maine when I was a very young girl. And so for Christmas that year, she had to get a new bathrobe. We were very poor, and that was something that was definitely a big stretch for our budget at that time. And Yeah, but she didn't have any other choice because she was very afraid that it would burn the house down. Oh, let's see. Leslie Young bought 4 wool blankets. That is awesome, Leslie. I know you guys are going to be warm this winter, especially while you're sleeping. Wool blankets are so warm. Ben's Over Acres. We also use baking soda. If you have a wood stove and have the occasional ember you need to put out. Well, that sounds better than doing a bathrobe and the hokey pokey on top of the ember and burning up your bathrobe. August Blue. After watching Texas last year, I ordered hot water bottles from Amazon. They're cute and they have pink sweater covers. That's great. I think water bottles are a very underused asset in today's day and age. Most people just get an electric heating pad, and they don't think about how amazing that hot water could be if there was no power. Do they still make tap lights? I don't know, but they do make those little battery operated tap lights that you have at the Dollar Tree. I've seen those before. And for $1.25, you really can't go wrong. Susan Peterson, husband ate cold ravioli yesterday, so that won't bother him. Andrea, 5 years ago, kept the furnace at 72, kept lowering it every year, now at 68. Going good, except for right after work and school. I'm shivering all day there. I know for a long time I was anemic, and I would keep a heating pad at my desk. And I sat at the desk, so I would have a heating pad at my desk so I didn't freeze to death all the time. Nobody could see me anyway. Okay. Use outdoor lights to recharge your AA and AAA batteries. Plus, you can bring the lights in at night. That's a really good tip. Thank you so much. And Fake Person, I got me this Vesta self-powered indoor space heater and stove by Instafire from My Patriot Supply and a Big Buddy. That's really, really good. Okay. Paula Hensley, make rice bags you can warm in a kettle on the stove. Stays warm when you rotate them in a small cooler. And if you have power, you can heat in the microwave. Rice bags are awesome. I need to add that to my list. Thanks, Paula. That's a really good one, the rice bags. Okay. From Paula. I'll make sure to shout you out tomorrow in the wrap-up, Paula. Thank you so much. It's Peterbilt Truck Spotting. That's Billy. That's my little friend. And Billy is he is a young man with a channel, and he does videos about trucks when he spots them on the highway. So if you want to go over and say hi to Billy on his channel, I think he has a new video up. Yeah, life is not complete without a heating pad. You got that right. Crypto Val, I heard the ashes from the stove, like if you scoop them out already, is a good way to smother a fire. Water could shock and possibly damage the stove or the bricks. Yeah. So I just remember that very vividly about my mom doing the hokey pokey on top of that fire, because instantly the copper caught fire. Poof. Okay, who's your prepping? Veggie broth always makes me feel better. I know, like a hot cup of soup or broth, that would be amazing. Okay. Hi, Amanda. Glad you made it. Let's see. I'm going to go down through the comments. Yeah. There's always the dog. You can snuggle with the dog. USMC has 2 big dogs who think they're lap dogs, and that is a great way to stay warm. Yeah. Tater has gotten so big. He is 6 pounds now. He's a wild man. I just love him. I got a small Sunbeam electric pad that works by battery with USB port. Hey, there you go. I know I have a hand warmer for my desk now because my hands get really cold while I'm at work, and it is a USB. So I plug it into my computer and I have it, and it's so wonderful just to warm your hands. I also warm up my mug with my tea in at work, and I walk around like this all the time, like with my nose in it because my nose gets cold. Hi, Proud Mom. Glad to see you coming in from Maine here. Okay. On-demand lawnmower, ? Boom charger, motorcycle, boom charger, whatever you want to plug in your car. You can do anything if you can get the battery to come on. That's a really good tip, Michael. Thank you so much. Remember your car chargers, too. That's a really good idea. Probably 10 years since I've had a decent winter coat, snow pant, and boots. I was impressed with my last one I got for my son, so I'm Splurging on myself should be less than $200. That is awesome. I know my mom just got a brand new winter coat from a lady who was actually leaving the northern region and coming to Florida. So she was able to stop at that yard sale and get a brand new coat from her. So she's pretty stoked about that. It was a nice coat. I live in South Alabama. August blue. We're expecting 40-degree weather this week. Not normal at all. My Walmart has sweatpants and sweatshirts on sale. I think now would be the time to stock up on those. Susan Peterson says, go to thrift stores to get wool blankets and coats. Yard sales are another place to get really good coats. I found a gorgeous little, what do they call those? Like a ski vest thing. It's quilted. It's super cute. And I was going to use it for fall vibes. So I found that at a yard sale today for $1. I was pretty stoked about it, which I probably will end up wearing in about 3 days here in Ocala, Florida. You really won't need it. Anyone else have trouble finding eggs at your grocery store? It's a really good question. At the Aldi this week, they had eggs, and I got 2 dozen. Let's see. We have eggs but they are $17 for a 6 dozen box at Walmart. Wow. Hi, Vancouver Vixen. I'm glad you're here. Glad you made it. Oh, had 2 neighbors approach me about eggs this week. It'll really help with the feed. That's great. Susan says a warm scarf really helps keep me warm. You're right about that. You are right about that. I love scarves. I have a bunch, too many. Hi, Brenda. I'm really glad you're here tonight. Thank you so much for joining, everybody. Oh, years ago, they didn't use bricks heated. They used bricks heated and wrapped in a towel as a way to keep your feet warm in bed. That's right. I remember Little House on the Prairie, the Laura Ingalls books, they used to do that. They had bricks in their beds at night, or they used to heat up big stones and put them in the bed too. We have wind-up torches and a camping stove. We need for power cuts here in Britain. I know. I literally feel so bad for the people in Britain because you guys are really going to get smacked this year with your energy crunch. And the people in Germany, the people over in Europe are really going to have a hard time because I know that they're saying that they have the gas, situation under control over there. But to be honest, I don't think it's as under control as they think it is. So it's going to be a hard winter for everybody. I'm very thankful that I live in Florida and that we don't really have, a winter where we can honestly freeze to death. But coming from Maine, I do know that that is a very serious problem for a lot of people. Susan, I like the way you think. Whoops, where'd it go? Better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. That's absolutely correct. That is a prepper motto right there. They used heated bricks. They also used metal pots with coals in them to heat the blankets. Yeah, that does seem a little scary to me. Yeah, they also used to use real lit candles on their Christmas trees. So seems a little crazy. Yeah, we have winter here in Florida, but it's only for 2 weeks and not all in a row. You might get a couple of days of cold weather and then it'll warm back up. And then a couple days of cold. Red Rose Prepper has a video on how to make a heater out of clay pots and little tea light candles. That's a really good way to stay warm, but make sure you have that fire extinguisher handy. Okay. Let me just go down through. A lot of people are saying what the egg situation is like in their area. Abigail Irvine, energy, gas, and electric is horrendous prices for people. It's either heat or eat. I think that's going to be a recurring theme. Brenda says we use a space heater and blankets. When I bake, when I'm finished with the oven, I leave the oven door open and take advantage of the warm air. I love doing that. When I was a single lady and I had my little tiny house and it was just me and the boys, we didn't have central heat. We only had just a space heater in the living room. We had our couch and Matthew would get on one side and Nathan would get on the other side, and we had a little chihuahua and he would get all up in there and I would be in the middle, and we would sleep like that in the living room, all 3 of us on the couch with the little dog all wrapped up in all of our blankets, and it was quite a time. They thought it was wonderful, but I don't think they realized how really serious the situation was. I mean, we weren't going to freeze to death in Florida, but it was not ideal. It was not, but they didn't mind. My chickens stopped laying already. First time ever. It's going to be a long, cold winter. Well, I think you're right. Hi Sherry, I'm glad you made it, and don't worry about being late because you made it in time for Win of the Week. It's 8:30 and it's time for Win of the Week. So everybody, if you want to put Win of the Week or WOTW in capital letters and put your Win of the Week in capital letters, I want to shout you out. This is my favorite part of being a YouTuber. All right, Sally says there's a couple people at work that sell eggs. That's good news. Okay, yay, Win of the Week. Okay, let me start off with some from the community page, and I'm so excited for y'all. Okay, Win of the Week. Okay, so like what? Win of the Week can be anything. Did you use a prep? Did you stock up on a prep? Did you use a skill? Did you learn a new skill? Did you can something or dehydrate something? Did you stop at a really good yard sale? Did you get like anything can be Win of the Week. Win of the Week can be a spiritual win. It can be a mental win. It can be something that you found on sale and stocked up on. So let's do it. Oh, the Happy Hickman Homestead. I'm so glad you made it. Okay, so Win of the Week's go in all caps so I can see you. Susan got 8 pints of sauerkraut today. That is awesome. Okay, Carolyn says she stopped at Winn-Dixie and an 18-pack of eggs. Oh, no, that's not a Win of the Week. Nope. Okay. Oh, here we go. Michelle Moon. Win of the Week, found 10 pounds of red beans for 25 cents each and buying a new mattress. Michelle, congratulations. That is a Win of the Week. Oh, okay, we got one. My contestants are here. Missed a lot of them. Okay, Billy, that's a good Win of the Week. Win of the Week right there. Florida based. I made my first ever loaf of bread today. Okay, I got to write that one down. Florida based first loaf of bread. Eventually, y'all, I'm going to get a printer, but it's not going to happen today. Oh, USMC, Win of the Week. We tested our backup generators and got 200 cloves of garlic planted. That is awesome. Leslie Young got 3 sets of thermals. That's a good Win of the Week. Okay. Andrea, second week of meal planning successful. Good job, Andrea. Getting ready to pack 50 pounds of rice and 20 pounds of beans in Mylar. Well done. Oh my gosh, you guys are flooding me with Win of the Weeks, and I'm so happy. Look at all this. Where'd you go? Happy Hickman Homestead. Win of the Week. Canned 16 pounds of ground beef and 2 pints chicken broth. Also picked my first spaghetti squash ever. Well done. Michelle. 3 Pringles for $3 and Progresso soup for 99 cents each. Girl, I hope you stocked up. Those are some good prices. Okay. Let's see. Yay, on the bread. Very well done. Making bread is a real skill, and that is a good prepper skill. Win of the Week for Carmen Del Rio. Went to CVS, got 24 toilet paper with a coupon and paid $1.05. That is a Win of the Week for sure. You got a great price on that. Okay. Brenda says, Win of the Week, got 50 pounds of wheat berries for $35 and a Vittle vault to stall them in. Good job. Brenda, I just caught your latest video, and it was a good one. So if you haven't gone over to Brenda does a lot of Prepper Pantry hauls and videos, so she's got a great channel over there. Susan, Win of the Week, 99-cent candles at Aldi on clearance. You bought 10. Well done. Sven got Pollock on sale. That's awesome, Sven. Okay, perfect. You guys, you did great. If anybody else has a Win of the Week, make sure you go ahead and shout that out. I'm going to shout out some people that posted on the community page. Vancouver Vixen. This week, we built an addition to the chicken coop, resealed some roof shingles, made repairs, painted, and weatherized. Let's see. We made the whole thing lockable as livestock threat is rising and the girls are ready for winter. Rebecca Bullock Jarrett, who's a huge supporter of the channel, we dehydrated close to 10 pounds of potatoes in the last of my tomato harvest. We used half the amount of energy we did over last year, and I'm getting quite good at stumbling around the house in the dark. Tara Voda. I helped my neighbor pick apples off his trees and got 3 5-gallon buckets of Jonathan apples to process this weekend. That is fantastic. That is a barter. You helped your neighbor pick all of his apples and you got 3 5-gallon buckets in return. Sherry Sizemore, I've rested most of the day today. I've done the basics and let my body relax. Listen, that is a win. Relaxing and resting. I had a friend once say to me, even God rested on the 7th day. It's right in the Bible. So if you think that you can't rest, you are wrong. All right. Let me just look at this. Angie Williams says, I live in Kentucky. A lady posted on Facebook from our area today that she ordered bologna for the school and couldn't get it because it was out of stock. This is going to be more and more of a problem as we get further and further into the food shortages that are going to happen in 2022 and 2023. I just think that if you're sending your kid to public school, you need to make sure that you are packing them a lunch because it's going to get harder for the food programs to make ends meet, and it's going to be bad. Hey, Seabass, I am so glad to see you. Welcome, welcome. And I saw a very cute picture of you with Michelle Mitten, Prepper Veteran, over on her channel. So I'm glad you guys got some shopping done. Donna M. went apple picking last weekend and dehydrated 10 trays of apple slices, which is now in the pantry for winter. That is awesome. Susan Peterson, winner of the week number 2, needing new mattresses, couldn't afford right now, and a good friend blessed me with a set in pristine condition. That is fantastic. And that is, that's a God will provide moment. I love it. Okay. And the Banks homestead went to an apple orchard to pick apples to can. That's awesome. That is good. Okay, I'm going to shout out a couple more people while I wait for some more wins of the week. Glenn Anderson, love you, Glenn. Glenn says, caught a sale on celery stock, so I picked up an armload and canned them. I got 22 half pints on the shelf. Oh, and the blanching water I'm using to make vegetable broth with, so nothing went to waste. Hi, Penn. I'm really glad you're here from the San Francisco Bay Area. Glad you made it. Pink Southern Girl, who was in the chat tonight. Still on the mend from major surgery a couple weeks back, but you can't keep a prepping woman down. Did well this week. Canned 15 pints of pork loin, 6 quarts beef stew, 19 pints beef chunk chili, dehydrated 9 pounds of onions, 4 pounds of mushrooms, 5 pounds of broccoli, put up all of her spring and summer wardrobe and brought out the fall and winter wardrobe, feeling a chill, and remember your flannel sheets, folks. I don't know how she does it. She's amazing. Rita Hunter went to the food pantry on Thursday and got a lot of goodies, breakfast burritos, biscuits still frozen, and a whole case of eggs. Even after sharing with the neighbors, she still has a lot left, and she got strawberry starts in and ready to plant. Rita, you're a beast. Sassy Gal Prepping canned 9 jars of chicken bone broth and dehydrated apple slices, made it to a camping trip with my youngest daughter, and hopefully my win next week will be that we survived and we didn't freeze. Holly Cowan finally filled up one of my water jerrys. I've got a few more to do, but it feels good. Better than having them sit and do nothing. Also experimented by making gluten-free pizza for the first time. What a mess. It was so sticky, but after I baked it, it turned out okay. And she's looking for some gluten-free recipes, which you haven't been on the other side of my channel, which is the Biggs Homestead Kitchen, which has its own separate thing. I do gluten-free recipes over there and meal planning and all kinds of good stuff. Win of the week for Vancouver Vixen, got a flannel duvet cover from LL Bean for $20 after the gift card. Hey, that is a win of the week for sure. Okay, USMC935, who's in the chat tonight too. My daughter and I moved some things around to make space for growing herbs and greens indoors this winter. It will be a more permanent space for me to start a garden seedling. I have grow lights that need to be hung before this is done. This is super smart. Making space for preps is awesome. Lori's Thrifty Kitchen Pantry, which love you, Lori. My win of the week is an unexpected job interview. I'm really praying this one works out. I would love it. Only just started interviewing, but not sure when I will hear anything, but fingers crossed. So we're saying a prayer for you, Linda, that you get that job. Azure Morgana, canned apples, the Molly of Denali PBS game you had you helping Molly and her family preserve something. Preserving food for the winter. I don't know what that means. But anyway, it's a simple click game, but it's great for kids. Oh, that's cute. It's a little game on the computer. Sits and Giggles, love the name for that channel. Win of the week comes after everyone else's. I got my win of the week when local apples from a local orchard, 60 cents a pound, start. And then apples were 79 cents a pound for the fancy ones. Got lots of homemade applesauce and apple pie filling preserved. Good for you. Megan Donahue bought duck and chicken eggs and put them in lime water. Also started and 90 for cleaning 3 small parts of my home and walking 1 mile every day. Good for you. Michelle J, who was in the chat tonight as well. I canned chicken and ham stock. I've canned more meat. Worked on a bathroom remodel, went to the laundromat and met a new neighbor there. Line drying my clothes, and most important, played with my love bug pup and had a 3-day weekend with my husband. My goodness, you guys overwhelm me with these wins of the week. I am so excited. This is my favorite part. Marilyn Zeismer. I hope I said that right. I was blessed when one of my customers brought me the things from her food boxes that she won't use. It had sweet potatoes, cabbage, squash, peaches, apples, plums, and celery. Also found at my outlet grocery fully cooked packages of barbecue ribs. 1 pound was $2.99. That's a great deal, and what a blessing. Okay, let's see. Let me go back to the chat, and you guys are all being so well behaved, and I really appreciate my community because I know in some other chats they get super rowdy or there's cursing or whatever, but I never ever have to worry about that here because I do have some children that watch my channel, and I really appreciate you guys because you're just the awesomest. Paula Hensley, win of the week, canned 6 quarts of chicken, 3 beef roast, 3 pork, and 6 pints of ground beef, dehydrated, 3 pounds of corn, carrots, and peas. My goodness, what a busy week, Paula. Kendra full of joy, but a filling big food safe buckets with sugar and rice for my prepper storage. And if you haven't checked out Kendra full of joy's channel, she is fantastic. Great videos from her. Her front porch is so cute this year. Can I just say that? It's adorable. Alyssa Bray, we cleaned up 2 5-gallon buckets and then filled them with rice for long-term storage. Then we vacuum sealed 7 5-pound bags of flour and put them up for long-term storage. Karen Bell canned 14 quarts of free baby potatoes and 8 quarts of chili starter from produce with our garden. Karen, that is awesome. Katie Trapnell, huge fan of my channel. Love you, Katie. Brought 80 pounds of chicken quarters, portioned them out, and froze them. Organized pantry spices, pulled tuna up for the expiration this month. Barn cats getting fed good food. She fed that to her barn cats. Our entire upstairs is now insulated and drywalled. The contractor is working on mudding now. Was able to return some drywall and insulation and got the money back. Made homemade pumpkin bread and homemade granola. Well done, Katie. Funyun Maker. My win is that I'll be making 15 pounds of venison kielbasa this weekend and canning another 15 pounds of venison as well. That's pretty sweet. We haven't got our deer yet, but it'll come. Amy Shamblin. I left this elsewhere, but I got a dozen large eggs for free with an e-coupon. They used to be $1.49 now, and the receipt said I saved $3.49, so that's more than double. Way to go, Amy, using those coupons. And Tammy Hughes, canned hamburger with an expiration of 2027, kitten food for a friend's barn kittens, and deer corn because they have to eat too. Thank you guys so much for commenting on the community post for win of the week. And I really do appreciate it when you do that, because it really inspires me, and I know you guys inspire each other to just keep putting one foot in front of the other and to celebrate those little wins. Because when we look back and realize, a lot of channels focus so much on gear and huge hauls and preps and all these things, but it's the little tiny things that add up. It really and truly is, especially if you're new and you are overwhelmed with prepping. Just know that, baking that first loaf of bread, that is a win. And that's a win that you'll look back on in a year and go, wow, you know what? I've come so far. Now I know how to make all kinds of stuff. So let's see. Okay. Katie, I see Katie. Okay. Here's Katie. Win of the week is that I tried dehydrating some new things. Did chopped spinach, peppers, and onions, broccoli, and baby limas. All right, Katie, well done. I'm fixing to crack out my dehydrator probably next weekend. I'm excited. There you go, fake person. Don't forget to look at thrift stores for bread machines. And I went to a bunch of yard sales today, and pretty much every single one had a crock pot at it. So we're doing crock pot meal Thursdays or freezer meal Thursdays now here in the Biggs household, since it's winter, since it's cooler now. So that's gonna be a shift that we make, but I already have a crock pot. Win of the week chat gives me so many ideas. Look forward to it all week and often add to ideas for next week's plans. Exactly. I love win of the week. I find it to be one of the most positive things of my entire YouTube, is because so much is focused on the bad news and what the problems are, but this is where the solutions are at. Okay. Amy, I just shouted you out. That's awesome. Okay, here's Kelly S. Win of the week didn't happen today. That's okay. Scored 2 pairs of jeans, a set of plates, 3 shirts, and a bunch of hair scarves for about $70 from a thrift store. Hey, way to go. All right. I'm just going to run down through. You know what, though, Kelly? The nosy part of me, the part that looks in other people's carts and sees what they have in there, is definitely into the big haul videos. I love pantry haul videos. I can't help it. Uncle Al, enjoy your time with your mama, and we'll see you on the next one. Okay, but I do love big haul. I love haul videos. I can't help it. I don't know. Happy to see you. Was able to get the last of the green peppers out of the garden, dehydrated and froze some for stir frying, and carrots are planted and already coming up. Well done. Oh, who's your mama? Uncle Joe, he's number 46. He lives in a big white house somewhere in the middle of the country. If you don't know who that is, his last name starts with V, but we don't say his name here because sometimes this platform does not like that. So that would be Uncle Joe. And in the first half of the stream, we talked about getting ready for Uncle Joe's cold, dark winter. So I had some notes of some different things that might be helpful for getting ready for that. My husband is scared that if I try to can, I'll make him sick. Dyslexia, and he's afraid I'll make him sick. Dehydrating is okay. Okay. Well, you know what? A lot of people have that concern that canned meat is going to make them sick. I remember the first time Mr. B ate canned meat out of a jar, he kind of it was like, oh. But you know what? He's been eating it for the last 12 years now, and he's still a growing boy. Yeah. So freezer meal Thursdays, we're going to be doing freezer meals and crock pot meals on Thursdays. So just because on Sundays, I meal prep for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And then Thursday, it's kind of far out to make a meal for Thursday on Sunday. So usually I try to do either a freezer meal or a crock pot meal, throw the meal together on Thursday before I go to work. And when I get home, it's all ready to go. Katie, added bonus if I run my dehydrator. Yeah, there you go. The heat will run last. Absolutely. That's how you know it's winter in Florida. The license plate colors change. Exactly. Our leaves don't change because palm trees are always green. Let's see. Paula, if you think you have prepared enough, you need to prepare more. That's true. That's true. Yeah, that's who I meant. Oh no, it's not disrespectful to call him number 46. Okay. Well, I mean, my channel is not for everybody, and I try to make sure that I use words that the yeah, I try to make sure that I use words that this platform enjoys. And I'm really sorry that you didn't find something that you liked here, but we're a really positive group, and this is what we do here. We celebrate wins and we celebrate each other. And if that's not for you, then that's okay too. And thank you for unsubscribing, because I really feel like if you don't get what you're looking for, then that's okay. But we have a really cool community here, and I'm really excited that everybody. I like that. Okay, Michelle says, and thank you for putting it all in caps because I do see it. Do you ever just have to take a break and kind of not pay attention to the news? Absolutely 100%. So last weekend, the only reason why I had one video this week, not a Monday video and a Friday video and a Wednesday video, the only reason why I just had a Wednesday video is because Friday of last week, my husband took me to a pumpkin patch for my birthday, and we did all the fall girl stuff, which I was so excited to go just and relax. And he bought me a frozen blueberry lemonade that had ice cream in it. And we went all the way through the corn maze, and we went to the pumpkin patch, and it was my birthday, and they took me out to lunch, and it was super fun. And we didn't do anything we didn't even talk about prepping. We didn't talk about YouTube. We didn't talk about nothing. I mean, nothing. The whole day, we just spent the whole day enjoying each other, enjoying being married to each other, doing like sunflowers and ridiculous fall girl stuff. And I had the best time. And then Saturday, we fall cleaned the house, and we had all the windows open, and it was cooler out, and it was breezy, and it was wonderful. And it was a great weekend, and I did nothing with YouTube until Saturday night when I did the live with you guys, and I did my wrap-up video on Sunday, and then I didn't even cook. I took a nap, and then I went to my recovery meeting, and I bought little Debbie cakes for the recovery meeting. I didn't even cook. So literally, I just hung out. Thank you, Carolyn, for the happy belated birthday. I am officially 50 years old. And so we just did nothing the whole weekend. We didn't watch any news. We watched some great old movies. Like, we love this movie with Cary Grant in it called Father Goose. And a lot of like the 1950s, 1960s John Wayne movies, like the old-timey movies before everything was a political agenda or Satanism or anything like that. So we just had the best weekend. And I thought, if I only put out my Wednesday video, then that's fine. I don't need to put out any more videos than that, because we really needed to, we really needed to just unplug for a little while. So that's a really good question. And yes, we do. We unplug often. We try to just get out of our own heads. We had a wonderful breakfast, which if you watch the video wrap up from last week, we got up and we made pancakes out on the porch and just sat and enjoyed and, just did all the stuff. Thank you so much. And thank you everybody for, supporting. I don't know. I have this really great saying that I say a lot. You can be the sweetest cup of tea in the prettiest glass, and some people would rather drink warm piss from a boot. So that's just how that is. And I am a cup of sweet tea, and some people just don't like sweet tea, and that's okay. Or you can be the prettiest peach on the tree, and some people just don't like peaches. It's fine. Oh, thanks, Kelly. Thanks for being here. Really glad you were able to come in. We've got about 4 minutes. 30s at night now from Faith Family Farm. Gardening done. Cleanup before winter comes. Fall colors in Michigan are spectacular this year. Oh, I miss the fall colors. I really do. But not so much that I want to leave Florida ever. Hi, Garden Cat. Really glad that you made it. The last of the garden harvest is in and preserved. Well done. Yeah, the fall girl stuff was the best. Last year I had major surgery right before my birthday, and I literally could not get off the couch other than to use the restroom. So it was very bad last year at my birthday. So this year I just went all out, and I was like, I want to go to a fall festival. Thank you very much. Yeah, so that's what we call that man here. Yeah, we either call him Uncle Joe or we call him 46. And trolls are going to be trolls. That's just how they are. Thank you so much for the birthday wishes. I am a level 50. I'm just glad to be here because really, if I had continued on the path that I was on before I got into recovery, I would be dead. So that's just the truth. That's just the truth. Before I decided to accept spirituality and accept Jesus into my life and God and turn myself around, yeah, I used to say that I was committing suicide on the installment plan. So that's about it, you guys. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you, Michael, for joining from Central Florida. Really glad that everybody was here tonight. I love all of you, and thank you for rushing to my aid when the troll came in. So I'm going to see you next week. And I don't know what we're talking about next week, but I'm sure something will come up. Maybe we'll talk about first aid and medical supplies and the medical system in the United States and how we're declining and how we need to be ready to take care of ourselves at home. Again, thank you so much for watching. And remember, everybody, I'd rather be a year early than what? A day late. That's right. Bye-bye. I'd rather be a year early than a day late. Bye.